There are places in France where the destination is less important than the actual journey. Beautiful roads that are just delightful to take.
In Port-Confit, everything is preserved, so there's no special way of cooking it. It just needs the right gravy, that's all.
Jean Sulpice is a chef with 2 stars. Before he starts work, he loves to relax on the road which winds around Lake Annecy. It's a 40-kilometer circuit between turquoise water and mountains, leaving behind the bustle of the town for the peace of the mountain peaks.
It's wonderful to be able to follow the seasons. Here, the first dandelions are about to bloom. We're so close to nature. The effort is really worth it. This is such a pleasure.
Col de la Focla, at an altitude of 1,147 meters. The panorama is inspiring, as is the tranquility.
It's a bit like preparing a dish. There are different colors and really inspiring surroundings. That's a legendary mountain above Lake Annecy, the Semnoz. Annecy is at the end there. The lake is like a reference point, a bit like the dish that I was planning this morning for the menu. There was a condiment at the heart of it, beetroot. It's the heart of the dish, the seasoning. This is what will give the dish energy.
Some roads inspire chefs. Others have inspired filmmakers. On the Côte d'Azur, perched on a cliffside between the Alps and the Mediterranean, La Grande Corniche has become a star in its own right. Immortalized in cinema over the decades, from Hitchcock to James Bond, it alone embodies the myth of the French Riviera.
The Corniche is unique. It's the road that goes to Monaco, to Aix, and to Italy. And the panorama is extraordinary. It's really beautiful. Driving on the Corniche with the roof down, it's the business.
To get away from everyday life, this hotel manager's secret pleasure is to crisscross the upper regions of Nice in his vintage Jaguar.
Going for a spin and forgetting everything just for the day is extraordinary. It's awesome. It makes me smile from ear to ear.
The Corniche is the perfect playground for Fabrice's business. This classic car collector based in Nice rents his cars by the day for trips on this mythical road.
James Dean's Porsche 356, the Jaguar XK of Rita Hayworth or Clark Gable, the Lamborghini.
He has 53 legendary cars in his fleet, including an English model made especially for the famous road.
And especially nowadays, the Corniche, which Rolls-Royce named in homage to La Grande Corniche.
Luxury cars associated with the charms of the French Riviera have sometimes led to flamboyant marriage proposals.
The most extravagant request I've had was from an Englishman who asked how big the boot of one of our cars was. We thought it might be for something kinky, but not at all. He wanted to be able to light fireworks from inside the boot to go alongside his proposal. And so he did it, and she said yes.
From the Mediterranean coastline to the Atlantic one, and another mythical road between land and sea. The Passage du Gois in the Vendée region is a 4-kilometer causeway which can only be crossed at low tide, as most of the time it's flooded by the ocean.
So now we're here on the causeway itself.
Sandra is one of many tourists who come here to uncover the curious secret of Gois.
For those of us from the south of France, we don't really know about tides. Seeing a road underwater was a bit something that didn't make sense. So this is a journey into the unknown. It's not very long, but you can't see where you're going to end up. It's a real adventure.
90 minutes later, the tide has completely gone out, uncovering the paving stones. Cars and tourists can now cross.
Ah, here are the clams. This one's really good.
And those keen on shellfish picking can get going.
The island of Noirmoutier is just there, 2 kilometers from here. On one side, the mainland, and on the other, Beauville-sur-Mer. This is very symbolic for me. My grandparents brought me fishing here when I was young, and I've carried on.
The ocean calls time on the fun and games. Within a few minutes, the water bubbles up. Captured by Valerie's camera, the tide floods the causeway, and the pedestrians scamper away.
The water has started to come across. It's like a tap has been turned on, although it always advances at the same speed. It'll get to the other side really quickly. It's never the same each time. Whatever day it is, the light is not the same. The tide tables are different, as is the level and the color of the water.
This poetic moment is also a dangerous one. If anyone is daring enough to cross too late, they might find themselves engulfed by high tide. Every year, 30 or so reckless people are caught out. On the Passage du Gois, nature will always have the last word.